Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we will be racing in Kentucky, obviously with a recap of how Hailie Deegan did at the track and my race in the Cup Series, track that we had speed at last season, but we ran into some issues in the midway point and that set us back and we didn't get a very good finish. So hopefully we can change that today and maybe run up front, maybe get another stage win or a race win, which would be even better. But now as we look towards Hailie Deegan's race in the Xfinity Series, she didn't have a lot of speed in qualifying. She started in the 18th position, as you can see there, as she went down into turn 1 on that outside line, so certainly not in a good position to start this race for her as she came through turns 1 and 2 all by herself, really, right there on the outside line for a moment now, as Austin Cindric looked to her inside and cleared her down the back straightaway, as well as the 15 looked to the inside, but she kept clear of him as she went into turn 3, but then she elected to go back up to the top line, and it certainly did not work for her running that top. So she tried to get to the bottom, and she did just that. By the time we came to the midway point, she got up to about 17th place running that bottom line and about a middle line in turns 1 and 2, and she slowly was working her way forwards, but it was certainly looking like we weren't going to get a top 10 out of this. And by the time we came to the last lap of this race, she would work her way up to 14th, battling for about 13th and 12th as she came into the final corner, just about getting into the back of the 3 of Ty Dillon as she slides up the track through turns 3 and 4. And now Jeremy Clements comes to the inside now as we exit turn 4 down through the tri-oval across the line. It's going to be side by side, but Hailie Deegan would hang on for a 14th place finish in Kentucky. So certainly not a very good race, as she is just coming off of a couple strong performances. She got a win a couple episodes ago, so she's got 2 wins now, and she's still, though, looking like a strong contender, I think, when we get to playoff time, and hopefully she will be a strong contender. She made it to the Final Four in her rookie season last season in the Truck Series, and she came up short there. I think she got, what, 2nd or 3rd? I think she got 3rd out of 4th in that, so hopefully we can maybe get her a championship this season in the Xfinity Series. But as we come to our Cup event, I already completed my lap time in this 3rd session with a 30.356, and I went to make a 2nd lap in the session, but you see we kind of run into a few issues with Ryan Blaney down the back straightaway. I was hoping I could clear him going into turn 3, and I certainly tried to clear him, but unfortunately we make contact and sideways I go, so I called the lap there, and we will start in the 5th position in Kentucky with a 30.5. So let's go see what we can do here in Kentucky.
This week, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series is the Kentucky Speedway for the running of the Quaker State 400. Kentucky is a daunting 1.5-mile asphalt tri-oval located in Sparta, Kentucky, about 60 miles northeast of Louisville. Now, in 2017, Martin Truex Jr. won his series-leading 3rd race of the season here in overtime. He also swept all 3 stages. He was clearly emerging as the championship favorite after that dominant performance. So will a different driver start to separate themselves from the pack here in the Bluegrass State? Well, we're about to find out. NASCAR Racing from Kentucky is coming up next on PRN.
Alright, we are ready to go green in Kentucky. Joey Logano is on the pole. Ross Chastain failed technical inspection, so he will be starting in the back. And Matt DiBenedetto is driving a backup car after crashing during qualifying. And now we pan to our car, starting in the 5th position behind the 78, who's in 3rd, and Joey Logano obviously in the lead now as the green flag is out, and we are underway into Kentucky. The 1.5-mile track now is across the line just in front of that 12 of Ryan Blaney, looking to the inside of the 41 of Kurt Busch in his final season in that car. Now as we come through turns 1 and 2, Logano is clear early for the lead now through the center of the corner as we exit turn 2 down the back straightaway. Truex and Bowyer battle side by side as we head down towards turn 3, trying to follow through that 17 or 78 as we look to the inside of the 14 of Bowyer through turns 3 and 4 as we exit turn 4 side by side with Clint Bowyer down the front straightaway to come through to complete this first lap, moving up from 5th to now battling for 3rd as we head down into turns 1. And if we can just stay on the inside of the 14 just like that, we should be able to power forwards, and we do indeed power ahead of the 14 of Clint Bowyer now as we exit turn 2, closing in on the back of the 78 of Truex, and immediately I look to the inside of him as we head down into turn 3, trying to quickly get up to the 2nd position, and we will do just that as well as we barely edge him out, but he's going to hang on my right side as we exit turn 4 down the front straightaway through the tri-oval to come through to complete the 2nd second lap as we head down into turns 1. Truex certainly has more momentum, but now as we head into turns 1, this is really my strong part of the track, and it really shows as we clear Truex for second place and now close in on the back of Joey Logano down the back straightaway. And as we come to lap 4 now of 19 in stage 1, still about the same gap between myself and Logano, but we move up to the top or the middle line of the track, and we're going to make a power move to the outside of the 22, a huge move now as we come out of turn 2, trying to clear the 22 of Logano for the lead, and we briefly do clear him, but it wasn't enough time for me to slide down in front of him, and that's going to hurt me in the long run as we come through turns 3 and 4, running that top again, and Logano clears me with ease, and Blaney, his teammate, will come through to clear me as well as we come down the front straightaway. Kyle Busch in 4th, closing in on my back bumper now as well as we hit 15 to go in this first stage as we make the dive down into turns 1, and the 12 gets into the back of the 22 briefly and got a little bit sideways now as we come out of turn 2, making contact with the back of the 12 as we get sideways as well, just like he did off the back bumper of his teammate of Joey Logano as we head down into turn 3, but fortunately we hang on to the 3rd position now as we come out of turn 4 just ahead of Kyle Busch, but we would lose a position to Kyle Busch. We see Blaney took the lead as I am now passing the 22 of Joey Logano, who drifted back by the midway point in this stage, as now Kyle Busch and Blaney, they run 1-2 as me and Logano run 3-4 as we are still in 3rd. We've been kind of running around here for the past 5 or 6 laps as we hit 9 to go in this stage, trying to run down the top 2 front runners now as we come through turns 1 and 2, pulling away from Joey Logano and certainly closing in on the back of the 18 and the 12 as we come down the back straightaway, and we would continue to close up just a little bit as we came to lap 12, even closer than we were a few moments ago as we crossed the line. And as we hit 2 laps to go in the stage, you see Kyle Busch, he would take the lead from Blaney and actually start pulling away as it's just kind of me and Blaney here together battling as we look to his right-hand side as we exit turn 2, using that middle line to really get a bunch of momentum as we try to side drop him just a tiny bit down the back straightaway heading into turn 3. He certainly has the advantage on that bottom line in the 3rd turn, so I would drop down behind him as we exit turn 4, heading down the front straightaway. The white flag in stage 1 is about to be in the air as Kyle Busch crosses the line as he looks to get a playoff point with the stage 1 victory now as we head down in turns 1 and 2 for the final time in the stage, getting sideways, very sideways through turns 1 and 2, but fortunately we hang on to the car now as we exit turn 2 down the back straightaway, certainly looking like we're lined up for a 3rd place finish in this first stage now as we make the dive into turns 3 and 4 for the final time in stage 1, a little bit sideways again as the car is just moving up the track as it's kind of kicking out here and there, but Kyle Busch will come through the trial to win stage 1 and we will get P3 in this first stage, so certainly a solid finish for myself in stage 1 here in Kentucky. And I would come to pit road just like the rest of the drivers to take 4 tires and 2 cans of fuel, and we would come out just where we came in the 3rd position now as we get ready to restart this race and start this second stage here in Kentucky. Behind the leader of the 18, Kyle Busch, the green flag is back out and we are underway in Kentucky once again to start the second stage to the inside of the 12 of Ryan Blaney right away as he's already cleared from Kyle Busch as we make the dive down into turns 1 and 2 as Clean Boyer's on my back bumper now as we are even with Blaney, but now edging out in front of him as we exit turn 2. He's going to hang on my right door as we come down the back straightaway, trying to clear that 12 of Blaney as we make the dive into turns 3 as he is going to move up the track quite a bit, and we will clear him through the center of the corner now as we exit turn 4 well into 2nd place in front of the 14 and the 12 who battle side by side as we come across the line to complete this first lap in stage 2 now as we try to run down the leader of Kyle Busch as we try to get maybe a stage win here in Kentucky as we close in quite a bit on the back of the 18 as we exit turn 2. We're going to look to his inside down the back straightaway on his left rear as we head down into turns 3, looking on his left door. We try to take the lead in Kentucky, and now we do edge up in front of the 18 through turns 3 and 4. And as we exit turn 4, still edging out the 18 Kyle Busch as we come through the tri-oval to lead our first lap of this race as we head down into turns 1 to 18. And myself pretty even as we come through the center of the corner. Boyer looking to my inside for a moment, but he's not able to make it work. As we come through turn 2, we hit the apron though and go sideways, but we hang on to the car, but give up the lead to Kyle Busch down the back straightaway as Kevin Harvick will also come through to try and take over the 2nd position as he looks to my outside through turns 3. And as we exit turn 4, the 4 car is certainly going to have the momentum over myself as we come through the tri-oval. Harvick now edging me out across the line as he's trying to take over second place as he clears me going into turns 1. But I'm not done yet now as we come through the center of the corner, looking to the inside once again of Harvick as we clear him through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. So we move back into second place. But now as we came to lap 5, once again, he would look to my outside as I have to protect the inside from Clint Bowyer as Harvick cuts down in front of me, and he's going to certainly feel it now as we get into the back of him, letting him know that I didn't necessarily like what he did right there. And as we come down the back straightaway, still side by side with the 4 as we head into turn 3, certainly having a good battle with this 4 of Harvick, and that's allowing the 18 of Kyle Busch to drive away as Harvick once again builds the momentum on the exit of the corner as we head down through the trial. Will come through to complete this 5th lap, but Harvick finally is edging me out very well going into turns 1. He would finally clear me and maintain that second position as I couldn't get to his inside as we briefly get into the back of him. And me and Harvick would continue to run the 18 of Kyle Busch down as we came to lap 8 of 17 in stage 2. As you see a slow car up ahead of David Reagan, he gets down to the bottom line, and I decide we got to run the middle line as the leader swerves, and he slides up in front of me, and we plow into the back of the 38, and around he goes, and hard into the wall we go. Fortunately, not getting a lot of damage, but that has completely destroyed the second stage as we just have run into a terrible situation, terrible luck to be honest, as he just slid up from the bottom of the track, and unfortunately we were a victim to that situation. And we have had a lot of bad luck here in this season after, you know, we had a really good start to the season, and these last, I don't know, 6, 7, maybe even 8 races, we've just ran into bad luck here and there, and unfortunately it is carried over to this race. But I wasn't going to let this kind of set me back. Obviously, we're not going to be in a position to get stage 2 points, but we know that we have a fast car, so I was pretty confident that I could at least work myself back into the top 10, and maybe if caution flags play out for us, we might be able to even still have a chance at getting a top 5, or maybe even somehow having a chance to win this race. Now as we come across the line side by side with Danica Patrick and William Byron in a 3-wide situation as we head down into turns 1, Kyle Busch continues to lead, and I was really surprised. He and Harvick came very close to being involved in the same incident I was involved in, and unfortunately, like I said, the 38, he tried to run the bottom of the track and just lost the back end and slid up right into the line that I was running, and I really had no time to get checked up or maybe swerve around him. I knew I was going to hit him as soon as he slid up, unfortunately, but we would continue to work our way forwards at the end of the second stage as we hit 4 laps to go, moving back into the top 30 as we come through turns 1 and 2, making a 3-wide move to the outside of the 96 of Kennington as we come out of turn 2 now, moving up into the 27th position down the back straightaway, closing in on Trevor Bayne. We would get past him and past Eric Almirola and the 37 of Chris Buescher, working our way just about into the top 20 now as we come down the back straightaway, trying to get to the inside of Ty Dillon. We will do just that as we head into turns 3 and 4. Now also looking to the inside of the 31 of Ryan Newman as we exit turn 4, now side by side with him, trying to take 19th place away as we come through the tri-oval to start the white flag in the second stage. Like I said, we wouldn't get stage points obviously, but we're in a decent position now as we come through turns 1 and 2, getting a little bit sideways as we close in on the back of AJ Allmendinger, and on the exit of turn 2 we'll look to the inside of him as well, down the back straightaway, trying to get as many positions as we can as we head into turn 3 for the final time in stage 2 on the back of the 88 of Alex Bowman. As we come through turns 3 and 4, Kyle Busch is going to hang on to win the second stage, and we will come through the tri-oval to get P18 in stage 2. So certainly not what we are deserving of, but we rallied back to get up to 18th, and I would come to pit road, and I figured that the past tells me we need to take 4 tires, and we're probably going to give up all the positions we gained, but I need to think about the long run, and unfortunately we would drop down to 39th, but you saw how quickly we got back into the top 20, so I really wasn't concerned with giving up these positions as the final stage is underway in Kentucky. It is just a 25-lap dash to the end of this race now, as we are just going to have to navigate traffic the best I can, and I will certainly say we're going to have to rely on having a caution if we want to at least have a chance at winning this race. As I went into turns 1 to go run the top, and I got really tight, and I immediately checked the damage on the car to make sure there was nothing wrong, and certainly there was not a problem with the car. It was just a weird moment as we go into turn 3. Once again, the car drove into the turn just a little bit tight, and I don't know exactly what that was about, but we come alongside the 62 of Brendan Gaughan now as we come through the tri-oval to complete the first lap of this final stage. Now as we make the dive into turns 1 as we hit 24 laps to go, and we would continue to work our way forwards. Once again, you see me passing a group of cars, working my way into the top 30 as we came down the back straightaway, passing the 15 as well of Ross Chastain. By the time we came to lap 48, we worked our way once again up to 21st, battling alongside the 13 of Ty Dillon, and I would actually check up just to get down in behind him and kind of cut off the 6 car of Trevor Bayne, who's going to make a move up to my inside as he just about got to the left rear of me. And by the time we came to lap 50 or so, we would work our way up to the 17th position heading into turns 1. But behind us, we have an incident of Kasey Kahne going for a spin as we head down into turns 1. And he's going to collect the 72 of Corey LaJoie. And that would bring out the caution. So that would give us a chance to close this field back up, as Ryan Blaney currently led this race over 2nd and 3rd place of Stenhouse and Kyle Larson. So this would obviously, like I said, give us an opportunity to try and work our way even further up this field as the green flag is out. We are underway once again in Kentucky now from the 17th starting position, or restarting position, as we immediately look to the inside of the 21 of Menard and Boyer, trying to take them 3 wide going into turns 1 as we have to be aggressive. We only have 14 laps to go in this race. There's no time for waiting. We have a second chance to get a very solid finish out of it now as we try to look to the inside of Jimmy Johnson as we go into turn 3, and we do just that now as we come through the center of the corner, closing in on the back of the 43 of Bubba Wallace, who sits in the 11th position as we exit turn 4, going through the tri-oval now up to 12th. So certainly in a position that we might have a chance to work our way into the top 10 very easily now, as Blaney continues to lead over 2nd place, who is our teammate of Kyle Larson, still looking for his first win on the season as we look for a 2nd win, but right now looking like we might not do that as we come down the back straightaway heading into turn 3 as Bubba Wallace gets past just about Denny Hamlin as they battle side by side through turns 3 and 4, and I would slide up the track, and unfortunately that would allow the 21 of Menard to look to my inside as we exit turn 4 through the trial now, and we're not going to be able to get to the bottom as Elliott, he's going to come through as well as we head down into turns 1, running that middle line, so that should certainly be an opportunity for me to get past the 21 as we exit turn 2 down the back straightaway. We would clear Paul Menard for 12th place, and that would allow me obviously to get down to this bottom line behind the 11 car of Denny Hamlin, but I completely screwed it up and got loose. But fortunately we did hang on to that bottom line, and by the time we came to lap 59 we would work our way into the top 10, looking to the inside of the 43 of Bubba Wallace as we enter turns 3 and 4. As we get a little bit sideways, and just up ahead, Kyle Busch blows the right front tire and hard into the wall he goes. And we're going to drive by on the inside as he is completely destroyed. And that will take Kyle Busch out of this race and bring out yet another caution as we would restart on this inside line, starting from 9th. And this would certainly set up a short dash to the end of this race as the green flag is back out. It's just 5 laps to go in Kentucky now. On the inside of the 43 of Bubba Wallace, making a diving move to the inside of the 88 to force it 3 wide, and Kyle Busch, the driver who dominated the first half of this race, is out after blowing a right front tire now as we come through turns 1 and 2, moving into a top 5 position. What a comeback we have made in this race now as we come down the back straightaway. Our teammate Kyle Larson in command now as we head into turns 3 and 4. And as we come through the center of the corner now, exiting turn 4, trying to get to the inside of the 78 of Martin Truex Jr., but not quite able to get there as we come across the line. But he moves up the track, allowing me to get to his inside as we head into turns 1. And Larson continues to lead this pack as we come through turns 1 and 2, clearing the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. down the back straightaway. We go now, trying to get up there. I want to win this race so bad that I really don't care if I pass my teammate Kyle Larson to do it. But it doesn't look like we're going to need to pass him to win this race, because Kevin Harvick's about to do that as he looks to the inside of our teammate Larson, as Kyle Larson has completely given away his chance at victory, and he would fall back to 3rd with 2 laps to go as we're on his back bumper now as we're trying to find a way past him as he moves up the track in turns 1 and 2, and that allows me to get to his inside now as we exit turn 2, making a little bit of contact with the 42 as we come down the back straightaway side by side with our teammate of Kyle Larson, Harvick in command, looking for his third win of the season, as Blaney is right behind him as we get sideways going into turns 3, as we're going to go 3 wide on the exit of the corner just about, as we make more contact with our teammate Kyle Larson, as we make a big save on the exit of the corner as we come across the line to hit the white flag, as Truex will look to my inside of it very late into turns 1, and I would be forced to move up the track, and it would completely kill my momentum as we would be stuck on this top line for the rest of this last lap as we come down the back straightaway. Truex takes over 4th, Bowman on my inside as we try to hang on to a top 5, but it's unlikely that it's going to happen as we come through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Bowman clears me as Kevin Harvick comes out of turn 4 through the tri-oval. Kevin Harvick will win in Kentucky as we will give up 8th to Brad Keselowski as we come across the line with an 8th place finishing position. So really, can't be too disappointed with that, because we made a rally back twice in this race, and unfortunately the bad luck at the midway point with David Ragan just really set us back, as we just had nowhere to go. I mean, it was an unfortunate moment, but fortunately we are still getting a solid top 10 finish for myself, so I can't really be disappointed, like I said, as I don't think we got a top 10 here last time or last season, but you see Kevin Harvick now, 3 wins, 21 playoff points, so he is certainly second on the playoff grid as we come out of here with over $1 million. I think we get over like $1 million every race just about now in the career mode series, as we have a lot of happy drivers with us, as Daniel Hemrick, who's older than me, wants to be just like me when he grows up apparently, as Daniel Suarez, Ty Dillon have nothing but good things to say, so it's good to see that we are still making drivers happy, as I can't believe we've gone about a season and a half now in the Cup Series without even making a rival. We were close last season with Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson, and Chase Elliott, but fortunately we have all pretty much cooled off with them now, as we will be going to New Hampshire in the next episode, the same track that I got my first career win at last season. So we're going to try and win it again and hopefully get our second win of this season and our 4th career win. So hopefully we can do that, and we'll have to do our best to make sure that that happens. We've been dealing with some bad luck, so hopefully we don't have that happen in New Hampshire. And there you see the Cup Series point standings. Obviously, Chase Elliott, the last car in right now. And if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very appreciated. I would like to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch one of my videos. And I will see you guys in the next episode in New Hampshire, where we try to win like we did in our first season. Thank you for watching, and have yourselves a great day, everybody.